Another certified hood classic? Man, let's get it.
Wintertime, all the time, ooh, yeah. Look at the way that I move. Disrespectful and I'm rude, okay? I had cocaine in the school. Winter one hell of a kid. I am smoking gas, jogging mid. I'm lit. What you doing? I done did. I swear. Slick talker since a jit. I know that this what they want. Facts. Run up some money, I'm gone.
I can say this, man. I'm done saying that I'm never talking about Saints Row again, because I can say for a fact that it's impossible. You know, deep down, I still love this game. I still have, deep down, even though I say, shit like, fuck Saints Row, I never want to see Saints Row again, it's not really the most true. Like, I will always have a hole in my fucking heart when it comes to Saints Row, because a game and a franchise with so much potential that was just totally put to waste, was put to death, gun in the back of their motherfucking head, pull the goddamn trigger, Embracer fucked them over, and they fucked themselves over, But deep down, I do want a game, I do want it to come back, but in the best way, in shape, or form. But deep down, I say no, because every time you get your hypes up for modern gaming, it lets you down. And I could never stop talking about a game that put me on the map as well. If it wasn't for Saints Row, you guys probably wouldn't even know who I am. I know majority of my subscribers met me or seen me do either my GTA rants, my Saints Row rant, or my Last of Us rants. I know those are the big three on my channel that really, brought all you beautiful people together here. And I appreciate all y'all regardless, But, like, Saints Row just still, it's one of my favorite games of all time. I love Saints Row still, and I will ever love Saints Row. But I will always have disdain for Saints Row due to how much they fucked over their fan base and how much they fucked over their own IP and game. Okay? And of course, like I said, I don't completely blame Volition no more. Now, I did used to only blame Volition, but y'all know what, after that news about Saints Godzilla and, when he talked about what really went down in Volition, what really went down, what was going on behind the scenes, they opened my eyes and said, it wasn't all Embracer. It wasn't all Volition's fault. It was Embracer's fault. It was THQ Nordic, who is now Embracer. It was their fault as well. Biggest problems was them. But also, that doesn't mean that I gotta hold accountability from Volition, because guess what, bro? Saints Row 1 and 2 was like I said all the time, Saints Row 1 and 2 was the breaking point. That was the time to strap the rocket to your ass and keep going after it. After Saints Row 2, they should have built out Saints Row 2, like I said 1,000 times. Saints Row 1 and 2 are the perfect Saints Row games, and Saints Row 2 is like a more polished and battered Saints Row 1. And they completely fell off the rails after Saints Row 2. Like I said 1,000 times, I don't consider anything after Saints Row 2 a Saints Row game. That's just the truth. I don't consider Saints Row 3 a Saints Row game. I don't consider Saints Row 4 a Saints Row game. I definitely don't consider fucking Gat Out of Hell a Saints Row game. So, but that's enough yapping for now. Saints Row could be making a comeback. The original developer teased Saints Row 7 or Saints Row 0. Chris Stockman, he said this: "Guys and gals, I have hopeful news. I have been asked to create a pitch for a Saints Row reboot." We're rebooting again. I can't say anything more than that. But my dreams for this game just became a little more than just dreams. Update: it won't be a VR game. I'm really going back to my roots. So at first, I'm talking about the VR. So at first, he was pitching about it being a VR, which is garbage. You know what I'm saying? So this first comment says, "Do not make this a VR game, man. I respect your work in VR, but the fan base for Saints Row is 99% console players. People who grew up playing this on a 360 and PS3. We don't want a VR Saints Row game, which is true. We just want a gritty game about gangs. It's that simple. There is an audience for this to be a gritty crime game like the first two were. And that audience is hungry, man. There's nothing out there like those first two games, and that's a fact. Make the game like 1 and 2. Fuck this shitty VR pitch that he was doing at first." No, I know. Chris Stockman nowadays is mostly, he got his own little studio nowadays, whatever. It's called Big Planet Studios or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? That's what he been mostly making VR games these days. You know what I'm saying? Nobody care about him really. Let's be real. Nobody gives a fuck. But he's been making mostly VR game these days. Yeah. Stockman Studio called Big Planet Games has developed, multiple titles with, virtual reality and headsets and whatever. So this track record, literally, had people, oh my God, is he gonna make this Saints Row VR? Nobody wants that, bro. We want just the roots of Saints Row. We want, what I'm saying, the OGs back. We want this and that. And then we want this. Like I say, it don't even have to be the OGs. Like I said it before, it can still be Saints Row, but just bring it back to the roots of what made Saints Row. Build off Saints Row 2. Simple as that. Make a prequel. Make a sequel to Saints Row 2, bro. I know I say something. I know I always talk about sequels and all that, bro, but because most sequels nowadays have a lot of bad track record because they always make it up to modern standards, and we know what modern standard pertains to. But it should be like a sequel to Saints Row 2. It should be building off Saints Row 2. I wouldn't you never have to completely reboot the series because we already see what happened when they rebooted the series, my nigga. They fucking butchered that shit. It's in a grave. It's never getting back up. Okay. But like I said, I'm not gonna dip my toes in that high water. Let's stay on topic. Then Chris has responded about this this VR concerns and says, yeah, the only reason I said it could be a VR game is because of funding. If Meta is the only play in town funding real content, then what choice do I have, right? But if that's not the case and funding is solved by the IP holder, then I absolutely will make it for as many platforms as possible. So, like I said, bro, this was like the biggest issue right now when it comes to this, because the VR situation. Nobody wants a VR. Sorry, bro. Nobody wants a VR Saints Row game, bro. I'm sorry. That's gonna fail. Like one commenter said, "Sir, you always have a choice." No, not sure why people say that. I think the entire community at this point is tired of the sexual IP being dragged through the mud for over a decade. This motherfucker is cooking. Respectfully, I don't think any of us want a made VR Saints Row game in the slightest. If you really need funding, crowdfunding, we all, contribute. And I'm sorry, local girls, when anybody say, Saints Row still have a diehard fan base. Yes, we're not the biggest fan base out here still. Saints Row fans are not like the biggest. Saints Row always been a niche type of IP. It always had a niche fan base. But if you ask for help to crowdfund or fund a game that everybody wants still, and everybody still regardless of how I feel, I still want a new developer, whatever, to to take over or whatever. I want somebody that from the old Saints Row to take over, that still had the vision for the game. Now Chris Stockman is kind of controversial. So only good thing about this is that the fact that he was not around during the Saints Row reboot and all that. I think he left after the first Saints Row. I think he only worked on the first Saints Row in 2006, right? I don't think he had nothing to do with the Saints Row 3s or 4, but I'm pretty sure. So, but Chris Stockman was also talking about he wants GTA 6 to be $100. This fucking buffoon he literally pitched that out in an interview talking about, I want a game that deserves to be $100 is GTA 6. Complete fucking brain dead. You feel me? So I am on my rocks when it comes to Chris Stockman, but I do have more faith maybe that he will stick to his promise and go back to the roots of Saints Row as he said that he wants to do. He said that he wants to take it back to the 70s style, with the gangsters and stuff like that, how it was in Saints Row 1 and 2. He said he has a very clear vision for the prequel, right? So maybe he is sincere. But like I said, can you really trust anybody nowadays when it comes to these games? When it comes to do you feel bro? A lot of people me deep down, something says just let the game just continue to die. But a bigger part of me wants this game to come back because, like I said, regardless of how I feel or what I said, I am still a big Saints Row fan. But I'm going to continue to read what I was reading off. Then Chris responded to this guy, said, crowdfunding is an interesting idea. Yes, it's an interesting idea, bro. Like I said, regardless of how anybody feel, we want to see this game back to life. In my opinion, regardless of GTA 6, people still want an alternative, to Grand Theft Auto when it come out. You know what I'm saying? Of course, like I said, he did say that this game is like this is just an idea. It's a pitch. This game might not, if it does get greenlighted, this game isn't gonna come out until 2030 or something like that. He said, 2030, 2031. It's not even close to the time frame. He said this game will probably take a 5-year window, 6 or more windows to complete. So, like I said, this right now is just an idea. You know what I'm saying? Meta is the one commenter said on Reddit said if Meta is the funny source and it goes VR, this is going to flop harder than the reboot that killed Volition. Then Chris said, "Don't worry, that's not the case." So he has really confirmed. Like I said, he even said it in his the original post. He said, "Update, it won't be a VR game. I'm really going back to my roots." So I guess before he edited all of that, He was probably pushing about it being VR in the comics, whatever. But after the persuasion or the talk, he said, nah, we ain't gonna do that. So that's great. It's not gonna be a VR game. That's perfect. But only, what do you guys think? Do you guys think Saints Row should just die? In my opinion, bro, something deep down saying that it's like y'all fucked up. How many chances do y'all deserve? But like I said, but it wasn't Chris, so, but it just, hey, guilty by association. Okay, my nigga? Guilty by association. Yes, he wasn't a part of the reboot. I don't think he was a part of Saints Row 4. He wasn't part of Saints Row 3. But guilty by association. How many goddamn chances do Saints Row deserve now? Yes, this sounds good on paper. The idea of him bringing back Saints Row, bringing it back to life, reviving this dead franchise that these niggas killed themselves, and going back to the real roots. Bro, y'all don't understand the disappointment I had in 2021, bro. The disappointment that most of us had. When we seen that they was rebooting Saints Row in 2021, bro, we was excited. Y'all know it. We seen that graffiti saying rebooted. When we was getting those teasers of the little wall, getting updated, every time they showed the teaser of looking like the OG Saints Row 1 and 2 graffiti art, we was excited. We was like, oh my God, Saints Row is motherfucking back, nigga. We're back. We're back. And we're black. We're back. Okay? We're back. Just to come out with this goddamn trailer, nigga. It is college geeks. Steve Urkel. When they come out with shit like that, nigga that got his shirt off, Kevin, niggas doing crime to pay off Carter's loan, son. Nobody was excited about that bullshit. Like, bro. Y'all don't understand the disappointment. Bro, y'all understand it. Y'all was here, bro. Okay? Most of y'all was here. The disappointment and grief that I felt, my nigga, when I like, oh yeah, this game is just dead, my nigga. This game gonna flop. It's over with, bro. I called it, bro. I said, you know what? If they continue the way they're doing, this game is gonna flop. They're gonna go bankrupt. The studio's gonna be done. And everything I said in my videos, or my Saints Row videos, came to light. Everything I said, it happened. Everything. We all could have seen it come. Everything I said about Saints Row happened. Now look at it, bro. Look at the state it is. They killed the studio. They murdered. They murdered that shit. It's assassination. I said it before. It was complete assassination from Embrace. They literally ticked off every idea that Volition had to try to bring back what we originally wanted. It was gonna be 80% Saints Row 2, bro. 80% Saints Row 2, and these niggas killed. You feel me? So, but back to the OG topic. The idea of this reboot, well, another reboot of a like he did say it's not gonna be from the Saints Row 22, so that's good. Thank God. It's not gonna be from that garbage. We ain't gonna speak of that non-Saints Row game. Okay? He said it's gonna be like the Saints Row 1 and 2. It's gonna be in the 70s, like the 70s vibe, like that, like the gangs that we had. It was gonna be something like that. And deep down, I am excited about the pitch and idea of it. But another thing, I'm not excited. I can't really get excited about modern games. Then again, I don't have no hope, because guess what, bro? Like, is this Chris Stockman from 2006? Or is this Chris Stockman, in 2025? Is his game design, his ideas still align with the original Saints Row, the offensive jokes, the crude humor, the identity? Would he still establish that to Saints Row? Or would it be 2025 modern, cringy, era? You know what I'm saying? Cringy, safe era. Scared to offend people. You know what I'm saying? Hey, the woke stuff. Hey, is that going to be, is that going to be in the game? Is any of the, we're going to pander to people that's not really the audience. We're not going to pander. We're going to pander to modern audience. You feel me? We're not going to pander to the OGs. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to keep Saints Row. We're going to be soft and, safe. We're going to censor, names. We're going to censor stuff. We're going to censor all of the jokes. We're going to censor this and that and that. Or is it going to stick to the original what Saints Row was? That's the real, thing that I'm worried about. And that's why I don't have my hopes up. And also what you said about GTA 6, you know what I'm saying? People could say something like, say, this guy was pitching about GTA 6 being $100, bro. Like, what the, you got to trust somebody like this? No, he could be out of touch too. Yeah, he said he has an idea, he has a vision, but do you have the vision of what we want? That's not yeah, you got a vision, a clear vision of the prequel, bro. You got a clear vision. But is it the vision of what we want? The OGs, the real Saints Row fans want? Is that the vision? If not, You can kick rocks. It is what it is. Just let the IP die. Like it already, just let it continue to die. You know what I'm saying? Let's, you know, like I said before, I would not mind a new studio picking it up, but then again, bro, it gotta come with the mindset of, you know what? Let's put the fans first. If you're going to do, if this is gonna be like a passion-ish project, most likely, you know, this game is gonna have to be, you know, if they do greenlight it, I wouldn't, like I said, most diehards will not mind crowdfunding, like funding the game for them, helping them fund the game. Because, like I said, regardless of what, we might be a small community, Saints Row might be small, this and that, but there's a lot of diehard fans. Even in myself, I still love Saints Row. I still play it. I still play Saints Row 1 and 2. I still play it. Okay? No, people would not mind help, you know, bring this game to life. You know? If you do it the right way, the franchise can completely come back to life. If this reboot of the Saints Row again, you know what I'm saying, you know, come back to life, and it does really well. In my opinion, if you do it right, it will. Like I said, the reboot had a chance of surviving. I said it. The reboot had a chance. When I read the original ideas from Saints Row Godzilla, and I made a video about it, the Saints Row had a chance, bro. You know, and it's really sad how it went out, bro. I'm sorry, bro. Like, it's sad, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? But do I feel bad? No, I don't. Because they were smart asses. You had the community manager. She was out of pocket on social media, talking crazy, talking all that gang shit. She was talking crazy on social media. Haters gonna hate. Hey, motherfucker. Now you out of the job. You feel me? You got y'all niggas on the street. You know, back for change in your damn tin can or some shit like that now. So, hey, no skin off my back, son. Yeah, I said it before. Haters gonna hate, but haters ain't gonna buy your goddamn game. And I was right. But I think I covered everything I had to say about this game, man. If you like the video, make sure to like. If you don't, dislike, whatever. You know what I'm saying? If you're new, subscribe. You feel me? But yeah, man. What y'all think about this? Do y'all want to see Saints Row revived one more time? Do you guys want to see this one more time? Just give me one more chance. Do you think they deserve another chance, bro? Do you think Saints Row deserve another chance? Me, right now, on 50-50. But, hey, hope you got through the video. I'm out. Each
of us lives dependent and bound by our individual knowledge and our awareness. All that is what we call reality.